Hello everyone. So in this video, we will go over this polynomial long division problem. Now in this problem, we have to divide this expression, which is a polynomial expression, by this expression. The expression that is being divided is called the dividend. And the expression with which we are dividing the other polynomial is called the divisor. So these are two important names you have to understand and memorize. We can start the polynomial long division by doing the setup. So first we write out the dividend. So x to the power 4 plus. Now in this dividend, you can see that the highest power on the x is 4. The next lower power on the x, the variable, is 3. But there is no x square term and there is no number term. So in order to make the polynomial long division easier, we should add these terms in this dividend expression. And we'll add these terms with coefficient of 0. So here we can add the x square term as 0 x square. Now since we are using the coefficient as 0, it doesn't change the given expression, but it just makes the polynomial long division easier. After that, we'll write the given term minus 4x, and since there is no number term, we can just put a 0 at the end. We can write the division symbol and we can write out the divisor, x plus 1. Now we can start our long division. So the first step is to get rid of this x to the power 4 term in the dividend. Now we have to figure out what can we multiply this divisor by so that we get x to the power 4 and we can cancel it out. So our first step is to divide x to the power 4 by the highest degree term in the divisor, which is x, which gives us x cubed. So that means the first term in the quotient is x cubed, and we write that on the top. We multiply this divisor by the first term in the quotient, x cubed. So we do x cubed times x, which is x4. We write it under the x4. And then we do x to the power 3 times 1, which is x cubed, and we write it under the x cubed term. So there is a very important concept you need to understand and memorize in terms of identifying the quotient terms and then multiplying that quotient term with the divisor. Now we can subtract these terms. So the x4 terms cancel each other out. And now we have to subtract the x cubed terms. So the coefficient of the x cubed term is 1. So we basically have to do 3 minus 1, which is equal to 2. And then x cubed. Now we can bring down 0x squared. So plus 0x squared. Now we have to cancel out 2x cubed. So we will divide 2x cubed by the first term in the divisor, which is equal to 2x squared. So this is our second term in the quotient. And now we have to multiply this quotient term by the divisor. So 2x squared times x is 2x cubed. And then 2x squared times 1 is 2x squared. Now we can subtract these terms. So the 2x cubes cancel each other out. And now we have to do 0 minus 2 for x squared, and I get negative 2x squared. And now we can bring down our next term, which is minus 4x. Now we have to cancel out minus 2x squared. So we'll divide negative 2x squared by x, which is the highest degree term in the divisor. And we get negative 2x. So that's the next term in the quotient. And now we multiply negative 2x by the divisor. So negative 2x times x is negative 2x squared. Then negative 2x times 1 is negative 2x. Now we can subtract the terms. So negative 2 minus negative 2 will cancel each other out. So we get rid of the x squared terms. And here we have to do negative 4 minus negative 2. So it becomes negative 4 plus 2, which is equal to negative 2 and with x. Now we can bring down the number term. So plus 0. Now we have to get rid of this negative 2x. So we'll divide negative 2x by x, which is the highest degree term in the divisor. So we get negative 2. So that's the next term in the quotient. So we get negative 2 times x, which is negative 2x. And then we do negative 2 times plus 1, which is negative 2. And now we can subtract the terms. So negative 2 minus negative 2, so the x terms will cancel each other out. And 0 minus negative 2 is positive 2. These are the steps to do this polynomial long division. Polynomial long division ends at this step because the degree of this term is less than the degree of the divisor. So 2 here represents the remainder of this division. So that's the and the expression we wrote at the top, this is the quotient of this division. Now we can summarize this division by writing a division statement. So we start with the dividend and we write x4 plus 3x cubed minus 4x. So when we are writing our answer, we don't need to use the 0x square and the 0 terms that we used for the long division, because that's only for making the long division process easier. And those terms, they don't change the dividend expression. And over the divisor, which is x plus 1 equals, now we write the quotient, which is x cubed plus 2x squared minus 2x minus 2, and then plus, and now we write the fraction for the remainder. So the remainder goes in the numerator and the divisor goes in the denominator. So this is the division statement for this polynomial long division, and this should be our final answer. So I hope you'll find this video useful. Please share it, like it, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much and have a nice day. Bye.